Hello again, it's Joey John McGuire. I'm in my newly found watering hole, Wetherspoons pub, obviously, as I support Tim Martin's Wetherspoons. And it's the Asparagus, and that's south of the river, South London in Battersea. That's London, United Kingdom. Seems to be trouble all over the world. It's never ending. It's been going on for years, since time began, but it's getting worse. So I wrote another poem about conflict in the early hours of this morning. It's called I Have a Voice. It is true that I have a voice. I am born to a land of free speech, where freedom of expression is encouraged. I live in a democracy where every human soul counts and matters, and is allowed to blossom, albeit within the boundaries of the law, hopefully without prejudice, though it would be right to say the battle against prejudicial ways is and always will be never-ending, for there is always room for improvement wherever life is free to run its course, because just like water, life will always find its level on the land. In Syria, the battle rages. Iraq, Libya, Afghanistan, the Ukraine, to name but a few ongoing conflicts. In Gaza, the city burns whilst its citizens freeze with fear, though on both sides of the fence it is the same, because the consequences and legacy of any conflict will see the bitter seeds of revenge sown, leaving the fields to grow hatred and a nation strangled by its weeds. It is true, I have a voice, but my voice on its own forms a mere murmur in the scheme of things that cannot be heard over the thunderous bombs and the futile screams of misery amidst the suffering. And only when my voice is linked to a million others of my ilk shall it be heard over this willful violation of human civilization. It is true, I have a voice, but what use is a lone cry when no one seems to be listening, when the lines of reason appear to be permanently running parallel? Yes, I do have a voice, but it is such a small voice, crying on its own, one small voice calling in the night, and so far away. But nevertheless, it is one last thread of hope in a world that appears to possess very little in the way of a future. Very serious poem, that. Message to the world.